Jacqui-Lee Pryce for Shadowboxruk UK. I'm here at the New Dawn press conference in Bethnal Green, London, with the wonderful Jimmy Sains. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Yeah.
Good to see you. All grown up. All grown up. Watching your careers so far, but first of all, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. I'm happy to be here, and another fight week, and yeah, looking forward to getting weighed in and a bit of food in me. Yeah.
Do you know what, right? Something that Tony said today, and I'm going to be honest. So I've been obviously watching you since the amateurs, and when I saw you training at the Matchroom gym, I was like, oh, please don't nick him to the pro scene. Please don't take him too soon. What I loved about hearing today from Tony was that he said he held you back and he made you get that grounding. Are you now pleased that that happened?
Yeah, I'm so pleased. Looking back, that's probably the best thing I could have done going forward in my career. I definitely wouldn't have been, if I turned pro at, 2021, I definitely wouldn't have been 7-0, 7 KOs, 100%. I think a lot of people don't realise that you need that. I probably had around 30 senior fights, maybe 25, so that's put me, it's a great apprenticeship and it's put me in good stead for turning pro and fighting against men. I mean, it's a big difference when you're fighting someone the same age your whole life, up to 18, and then you fight someone 7 years older, they've got a couple of kids, they might have been in prison, do you know what I mean? They've come from a big lifestyle, fighting against 18-year-olds, do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't realise, but I mean, the ultimate goal is to turn pro for everyone. It's that's the achievement, that's the top goal, and but I think just take your time, don't rush it.
100%. And Tony talked about man strength. I have this thing about when they talk about man strength, nothing, and again, I agree with him. To me, if you turn over, that man strength excuse goes out the window. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're in the pro ranks and you are obviously going to be up against men. But Tony realises that. He wasn't grabalicious. He didn't try and push you too quickly. When you look at some of the people that turned over before you, you know, they're not all doing that well at the minute. Let's just put it this way. Are you really, really, you know, surprised that you've kind of surpassed them in a way?
I wouldn't say they were not doing well, but I'd say maybe they're not expected their career has gone where they are now in this in that moment in time. Maybe I feel like a lot of people expect to be world champion by the age they're 21, but they don't realise they've got all these Russians, Kazakhstans, they've got all the people in America, all these Mexicans that are in front of them. They want a world title as well. You can't just jump the ranks and go straight up to that world level. I think you've got to do your apprenticeship. And if you can do your apprenticeship in the amateurs, even better. But I think you've got to take your time in the pros and, yeah, look to way up.
And you talk about the Russians and the Kazakhs. Let's be honest, in the amateur scene, usually they've had like 50, 60, 70, upwards of fights, haven't they? So they've banked all of that experience.
Yeah, I mean, you look at people like Lomachenko and Usyk, people like that, they've had hundreds and hundreds of amateur fights. They've been to multiple Olympics, World Championships. They've done their apprenticeship, so they've earned their right to turn pro. I think, yeah, if people just get all the most amateur experience you can. I mean, if you lose in the amateurs, it's not the end of the world. If you lose in the pros, it's not a big deal. You can always come back and bounce back, but you've got to rebuild. You've got to start again. It's not ideal.
Let's talk about your ratio, though. 7 fights, 7 wins. You seem to be dispatching people quite easily, and we've talked about obviously the work that you've done behind the scenes. Are you looking though on Friday night to get a tiny bit more of a test?
Yeah, hopefully he's got a winning record. He's going to come to win. So hopefully he can give me. I mean, when people have got coming at me, it's going to be a better Jimmy Sains boxing. When I go looking for it, it might not come. So, yeah, hopefully he can give me a few rounds and a bit of a test. That's what I'm looking forward to, having a bit of a test. It's going to put me in a good stead for when I want to fight for titles like Southern area, and that I'm going to be ready.
And you talked about going through that traditional route. How important is that, do you think, to your destination to go through those increments?
I mean, it's not in like fixed, but I have to win the Southerner, I have to win the English, I'd have to win the Commonwealth or whatever. But it's something that ideally I'd like to win. Like tick off them boxes, tick off that experience. But I mean, it's also finding the right opponents, finding the timing's got to be right as well. I mean, if it's not there, it's not meant to be. But hopefully, I can go that route and follow in Darren Barker's footsteps, become world champion as well.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, you're in a gym with such talent, you know, and you've got these guys like Ryder and obviously Barker to kind of, you know, lean on, to talk to. Do they take you under their wing, and what kind of experience, what sort of stories, I should say, do they share with you about the posting?
Yeah, it was great to catch up with Darren the other day. We had a good sit down, good talk. Because we've got a lot of similarities there, really, coming through Repton and then both training with Tony Sims. And yeah, John Ryder as well. He's great to pick his brains in the gym. He's always in the gym handing out good advice. I've also been sparring with John Ryder for a long time before he retired. So yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of people wouldn't have had that opportunity where their coach has actually been in the ring with them. So he can pick out little things what I do maybe a different coach wouldn't be able to. So yeah, it's great to have in the gym.
As he started making excuses now and leaving his gum shield behind, now you're developing and getting stronger.
Yeah, I mean, he's got no interest in training. It's still, I reckon he's still doing me though. Them John Ryder uppercuts, they were lethal.
Yeah, I'd pay to see that. I really would. You're willing to go anywhere. You've been on the big platforms. You've obviously also been on the small hall shows. You know, is activity the key to growth?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very active. I had 7 fights my first calendar year as a pro. So hopefully, I mean, now I'm stepping up the rounds, maybe potentially 8 rounders, 10 rounders, maybe even 12 rounders. I might not be able to be as active. You need that bit of a time recovery in between the fights. But you know, I'm all in the gym all the time, 24/7. So if there is that opportunity for a fight that comes around, I'm going to be ready for it.
I spoke to Maisie about, you know, she has been active and she has grabbed all the opportunities that have come her way. But how important is it? You know, she's taken that loss and she talked about, with hindsight, not necessarily listening to her gut. Is there going to be a time where you're going to have to stop making those decisions of, you know, how much you let yourself go out and how much you need to kind of keep your energy to yourself and focus just fully on your boxing? Yeah,
boxing it's not just a sport, it's a lifestyle. I mean, you've got to put everything into boxing. And I sort of think to myself, the way I look at it is I can put everything into it in the next 10 years and I've given it my best shot. So hopefully I can go all the way. But if not, I can look back and say I give it my best and I just weren't good enough. So, yeah, I mean, it takes up your whole life, but I'm willing to do that for the next 10 years.
Yeah. Just lastly, 5 things on your Christmas wish list. And you can't say winning on Friday night.
Well, that would be the first one, winning Friday night. But maybe a nice holiday, somewhere sunny. Yeah, I'm not sure. Nice holiday, some good food. I need some good food in me. Maybe an Indian, a Chinese. I had my birthday the weekend just gone. I was eating scrambled eggs and dry steak and no salt. So it wasn't great. It's not ideal, but yeah, I'm gonna get some food in me and celebrate. Have a good Christmas with family and friends. Yeah.
So you want a cake? That's 2. What else?
Yeah, cake, a brownie, chocolate brownies. I want. Maybe a bit of pizza. Yeah. So.
No clothes?
No, I'm not bothered about clothes. Just well, actually, yeah, it's getting a bit cold. Maybe a coat or something. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Listen. I am wishing you all the best Friday evening. I'm looking forward to seeing you live in the flesh. It's been a long time, my friend. I've seen you in the AMs. It's now a chance for me to see you in the flesh, in the pros. Thanks very much for giving me your time.
Thank you. Cheers.